Our first one for today is going to be, am I the asshole for not inviting my sister to my wedding after she tried to sabotage my engagement? That's weird, but no. We're gonna start strong with a solid no. I don't know, we'll see. Unless they're being petty, and that's weird. I don't know. I, 29 female, am getting married in a few months to my fiance, Daniel, 31 male. We've been together for 5 years, and he proposed last year. I'm thrilled to marry him, but there's been a major issue with my sister, Emily, that's cast a shadow over the whole thing. Ooh, what is it? Emily has always been the golden child in our family. Beautiful, charming, and able to talk her way out of anything. Uh-oh. I've always felt like the responsible choir to one in comparison. Things came to a head when I got engaged. Emily started making comments about how she thought Daniel was too good for me and how she always thought he might have had a crush on her before we started dating. Oh, that's weird. At first, I brushed it off as her usual behavior, but then it escalated. That's weird. A month after our engagement party, I found out from a mutual friend that Emily had been telling people at the party that Daniel had once flirted with her and only proposed to me because she turned him down. When I confronted Emily about it, she laughed and said it was just a joke, and Daniel and I were both deeply hurt. The final straw came when Emily drunkenly cornered Daniel at a family gathering and told him he was making a mistake marrying me. Dude, what? Chill out. Daniel told me about it immediately, and I was furious. I confronted Emily again, but she denied it and accused me of being paranoid and insecure. Okay. After that, I decided I couldn't have her at my wedding. I told her she wasn't invited because of her consistent disrespect for me and my relationship. That's right, that's right. This is the action that I believe I'm being judged for, excluding my sister from my wedding. I understand this decision might make me the asshole because it would be seen as unnecessarily harsh or vindictive. My parents are furious with me, saying I'm tearing the family apart over something petty. That is not... Like, those are fighting words. I'm gonna be for real. Those are fighting words. They argue that weddings are about family and that I should let bygones be bygones. Okay. Emily, of course, is telling everyone I'm overreacting, and some relatives agree with her, saying family is family and I'll regret this decision. She regrets her decision. She shouldn't have done that. At the same time, I feel justified because I don't want drama on what should be one of the happiest days of my life. I wonder if excluding her might be unfair, and given her past behavior, I feel like it's the best way to protect myself and my relationship. Am I the asshole for not inviting my sister? No! What? What do you mean? I feel like 80% of these revolve around weddings and kids. Opus offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. The action I took was deciding not to invite my sister to my wedding because of her repeated attempts to undermine my relationship and disrespect my fiancé and me. This might make me the asshole because I'm excluding a close family member from a major life event, which could be seen as harsh or as escalating the conflict rather than attempting to reconcile. My parents and other relatives had told me this decision is divisive, oh my gosh, and that I'm being overly vindictive, which has made me question if I'm handling the situation the wrong way. Dude, I can't believe, like, she's getting gaslit. What I might have done wrong is not finding a way to address the conflict more constructively and potentially causing a rift in my family. She started it! She started it! Maybe, hear me out, maybe Daniel was lying and just trying to sabotage his sister to hide his infidelity with her, trying to get out ahead and besmirch the sisters right before she could reveal the truth. Alright, so anyway. That would be crazy, like, if that were the case. But I don't know. With her past behavior, that's gonna make it a little bit harder to, like, or get behind, honestly, is probably a better word for me to say, or lack for a better term. Emily drunkenly cornered Daniel at a family gathering and told him he was making a mistake marrying me. Yeah, obviously, well beyond the pale here. You have moral grounds for not inviting her based on that alone. However, it might be worth inviting her so she can witness your marriage. Oh! I say this because my husband invited an old girlfriend, who apparently still had hopes with him, to our wedding. What? She got to sit in the crowd and watch as my husband expressed his love and devotion to me and only to me. It put a definite exclamation mark on this other woman's aspirations. We never heard from her again. It would be different with a sister, and I get not inviting her for fear she'd ruin the day. No matter what you decide, you're not the asshole. Side note, my parents are furious with me, saying I'm tearing the family apart over something petty. That is not petty. Your parents either do not understand or are in denial about how badly your sister has behaved. I would sit them both down and have my fiancé express his extreme discomfort with her actions. Maybe they'll understand the gravity of the situation. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna say not the asshole. I'm gonna say not the asshole. Am I the asshole for asking my husband to prioritize our family tradition over his new friendship? What? I don't know. Oh my gosh, hold on. I'm gonna say... I mean, this all seems obvious, so I'm gonna say yes. Yeah, that's my final answer. I'm just gonna say yes. My husband, 35 male, and I, 32 female, have a very small but meaningful tradition we started the first year we got married. It's nothing major, but it's important to me. Every November on the weekend before Thanksgiving, we take a day trip to this lakeside town about an hour away. We spend the day walking, talking, and picking out a new ornament for our Christmas tree, something that's meaningful to our year. Aww! It's just one day, but it's one of those things that make the holiday season special for us. Aww! My husband recently became great friends with a guy from his gym. Ooh. My husband recently became great friends with a guy from his gym. They hit it off quickly, and I think it's great because my husband doesn't make new friends easily. He seemed like a genuinely nice person and shares a lot of his interests, like hiking and gaming, and I know it's refreshing for my husband to have someone he clicks with so well. Here's the issue. My husband's friend invited him to go on a weekend trip for the exact same weekend as our tradition. My husband seemed hesitant to bring it up at first, but eventually he asked if it'd be okay with us rescheduling our tradition to another weekend, so he could go on this weekend with his friend. I was caught off guard, and I told him it kind of hurt my feelings that he'd even consider moving it. He told me it's not a big deal for us to just go another weekend, and he's right in the sense that it doesn't really affect anything logistically. Aww. But this trip has always felt like our thing. It's not that I don't want him to have fun or make new friends, but I kind of feel like he's minimizing something that's special to us, or at least special to me. When I told him that, he looked surprised, then frustrated, saying I was overreacting. He ended up agreeing to keep the weekend for our tradition, but I could tell he was disappointed, and I feel guilty for that. Part of me wonders if I'm being stubborn about a little ritual that maybe only I care about as much as I do. Aww. So, am I the asshole for asking him to prioritize our tradition over his new friend? Oh. I don't know, I feel pretty hurt too. Update. I saw some people asking how long we've been married. We've been married for 6 years, and we've been doing this tradition since our first year together, always on the same weekend. Update 2. A lot of people asked why this specific weekend matters so much to me. I think it's because we've kept this tradition on the same weekend for over 6 years, and to me, the timing feels like an integral part of the tradition itself. It's become a marker for the start of the holiday season in my mind, and changing it feels like losing some of the meaning behind it. Update 3, dude! Update 3. Get over yourself. Shut up! Oh my god. Update 3. After a few hours, I want to thank everyone who shared their opinion. After reading the comments and giving myself some time to reflect, I decided to talk to my husband again. I told him I felt bad for how things went earlier, and that I didn't mean to make him feel like I'm keeping him on a leash. I also explained why our little tradition feels so special to me and how I've always seen that weekend as our weekend. He admitted that he hadn't realized how much it meant to me. He said he'd been excited about the trip with his friend because it was the first time in a long time that someone reached out to him like that, and that he didn't want to let that slip away. We both agreed we could have handled the conversation better, and that neither of us wanted the other to feel like their feelings didn't matter. As said earlier, we've decided to stick to our tradition this year as planned, and my husband is going to plan a weekend trip with his friend in January when the holidays are over. Oh, at least they talked it out. Yes, it's a day. Okay, alright. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I asked my husband to prioritize our tradition over his plans with his new friend, even though rescheduling wouldn't have impacted our plans in any practical way. I'm glad that we're able to, talk about it. I think no one sucks here. If that's the case, that's totally valid. This one's Poo mode activated, but I'm no longer trusting Poo mode activated. Am I the asshole for being mean to my wife for buying me a trip to a Cancun resort for my 40th birthday? Those are really cheap. I don't know, did you express, is it more of a her thing? It says Poo mode activated. I guess we'll see. My wife and I have been together for 20 years, married for 15 of those years. That being said, my wife has been well aware that I do not like traveling. I don't mind road trips or a state or two away, but that's it. I hate flying, and I really don't like surprises. These are facts that I've made known for decades at this point. My wife, however, for the past 5 or 6 years has really started itching to travel because her friends are traveling. Back in August, she kept insisting that our family get passports. During this whole process, I repeatedly say I don't think it's necessary because I hate traveling. But I relent when she says she may take the kids out of the country at some point in the future. In September, she told me to take November 21st and 22nd off from work. Of course, when I ask why, she refuses to tell me. After some pressing, she says she's surprising me with a trip to a resort in Cancun for my 40th birthday. At this point, I'm floored, not in a good way. I asked her why she did this, reiterate that I hate flying, say I wanted a simple dinner at my favorite restaurant and a video game for my birthday, etc. She starts getting watery-eyed and says she sold a bunch of her work's stock to fund the trip, and I relent and say we can go to Cancun. In October, our dog gets cancer. Oh my god. Treatment is freaking expensive, so I tell my wife to return the trip tickets. She says she can't because it's too late to get her money back. When I asked how much she paid, it's damn near $2,000. Damn. This gets me upset all over again because at this point we're looking terrible financially. We're paying vet bills, our downstairs AC unit broke and had to be completely replaced for $7,000 back in August, damn. And she's splurging on a Cancun trip. I get pissed and tell her that if she had $2K to blow on a trip, she should have asked me what I actually wanted. Got me a PS5, some dinner at my favorite spot, and put the rest towards our mounting debt. Again, she starts with a shaky voice and watery eyes, so I suck it up and sell off a huge portion of my retro game collection to keep us afloat. November, it really starts to hit me that this trip isn't even for me. She likes to travel. She likes to fly. She wants to go to Cancun, and my birthday is the perfect excuse to go. So I've been building up resentment about being broke with December fast approaching. We have 2 kids, one of which is born right up before Christmas. So our friends are going to be tight from them needing to buy presents. The whole thing comes off as her being financially irresponsible and using my birthday as an excuse to do some traveling to make her happy. This past week, I've been kind of a dick to her because I'm starting to build resentment here and haven't spoken to her in a week. I also randomly went out with friends and rubbed it in her face that they actually take me places I want to go. I'm also seriously considering buying a PS5 and taking her to my favorite dinner spot for her birthday in April. Okay. She booked the trip in September, the AC went out in August. We do travel, we go on family vacations every year. We've gone on several cruises out of the country in the past 10 years. We've taken a few plane trips to Orlando and Vegas as well. I'm not sure why people assume I expect her to sit at home all day and never travel. If she wanted to travel on her birthday, I absolutely would go whenever she wanted because it's a day that's all about her and celebrates her. One of the big issues I have with her actions is that being done on my birthday. Yes, I have hobbies. I have a strict budget for these hobbies. And since my kids were born, I've cut down drastically to make sure or put money in their college savings account each month since birth. My family is not neglected because of this. I spend a ton of time with my kids. I feel like I have to reiterate this. I'm down to travel outside the country with my wife on special occasions that celebrate her and our relationship. I would absolutely suck it up for her, and have done so in the past. My issue is that the day is being done on my birthday. I kinda get it. I mean, there is a thing to where you can't get your money back on trips after a certain amount of time. Unless you, like, get the insurance for that. I think that's a thing. So, I don't know. Like, I kinda get it, and I mean, it's the part, like, I don't know, with the resentment and everything, and just sometimes bad, like, the things... Especially the financial issues that did start happening, like, after, you know? Everyone sucks here. It's been 20 years of kidding to your extreme dislike of traveling. Your wife is clearly sick of it, damn. It was a giant asshole move for her to use your birthday as an excuse. You're right to be angry. But continuing to hold resentment is going to build into divorce. So stop. Take a breath. Tell your wife you'll do the Cancun trip and even try to enjoy yourself. But from now on, when she wants to travel, she needs to be more transparent about it being for her. She can go on trips with her friends, take the kids on a cool mommy-kid trip, stuff like that. You can stay home and have some daddy-kid time or general free time for video games. There are compromises available, but you two need to talk about it. I agree with this person. Am I the asshole for making my seat swapper cry? And it says not the asshole. Okay. So I board the plane, settle into my economy plus seat. Woman approaches, asks me to change seats to 32B so her 9-year-old can sit with her. Oh, yeah, no. I ask how much cash she has to repay me for the money I spent on the seat. She says I'm cruel for leaving her son with anxiety sitting alone. You should have coughed up the cash. I said clearly she cares more about her own comfort than her son's well-being. If she cared, she would give up her seat and move to the back. She breaks out in a screaming wail filled with, "How could you?" 10 minutes later, a smiling man sits down next to me, grinning about his sweet upgrade. My partner says I am the asshole for questioning her parenting in public and making her cry. Am I? No. OP has offered the following explanation for why I think that might be the asshole. For embarrassing this woman and questioning her parenting in public. She was putting you in that spot. Not the asshole. She's in the wrong for 1, not being able to plan and book ahead of time so her son isn't left alone. 2, not being able to put aside her comfort ahead of her precious son. And 3, thinking that anyone owes her anything for being a poor planner. Ooh. When I booked my seat, hers was already taken, so she booked first. Didn't look like poor planning. Looked like she only wanted to pay for 1 premium seat and wanted to guilt me into giving up my seat. Yep. Am I the asshole for not giving my sister my spot in a prestigious summer program? I'm gonna say no. I don't know. I'm gonna say no. I'm sorry. I, 20 female, recently got accepted in a competitive summer program that I've worked hard for over the past 2 years. It's something I've poured hours into building my portfolio, attending workshops, and sacrificing a lot of my free time. My sister, 23 female, who has never shown any interest in this field before, also applied on a whim but didn't get in. When she found out I was accepted, she asked me to give her my spot because she thinks it would look better on her resume. And that I could just apply again next year. Oh God. I told her no, explaining that this is something I've worked towards for years and that I'm not giving it up just because she wants it now. She called me selfish and told her parents, who are now pressuring me to be the bigger person. She needs to be the bigger person and let her have the opportunity since I'm younger and have some more time to try again. I'm standing my ground, but now everyone's making me feel like a terrible person. I'm prioritizing something I've worked so hard for. Am I the asshole? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. The action that should be judged. I refused to give my spot in a prestigious summer program to my sister, despite her request and my parents' pressure. Why that action might make me the asshole? My refusal could be seen as selfish since my sister claims this opportunity would benefit her more immediately, and I could apply again next year. By not giving up my spot, I might be putting my personal ambition above family unity or her career prospects. If this was like a career prospect, she should have prepared instead of like, oh, sister got it, I'll take, yeah. Yeah, no, they put in all the work, and then another person comes and wants to take it, hell, yeah. I don't think they could just give up a spot like that. That's not how that works, right? Like, that's also a thing. It's just, I don't like the fact that, like, oh, I decided to do this, so now you gotta help me do that. Yeah, no, not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your sister didn't meet the acceptance criteria. You did. Sister may be your parents' golden child, but she's not the golden child for the program. Heck, is admittance even transferable? Wouldn't the program get to decide who an open spot would go to? Exactly, the spot isn't even transferable, so it's not like I can just hand it over. It's common sense that you wouldn't be able to hand it over to her. It's a competitive program. Do your parents not have common sense, or is this fake? Oh! Honestly, it feels like common sense is out the window with them right now. They're so caught up in siding with her that they're ignoring how things actually work. That's weird. That's weird. Yeah, not the asshole.